So typically I like to save the main message of the video for the end of the video. But due to, an issue with attention spans today, I understand that there's a good chance that a lot of people probably won't get to that. And it's such an important message that I feel like I need to just sacrifice the chance of you seeing this whole video and just put it out at the front, just so that the message gets out there, because it's such an important message. And I really hope people come across this so that they can hear it. And that message is, if you're still a youngster riding the school bus today, do not, and I repeat, do not pluck that kid's ears in front of you on the school bus. Don't do it. Because there is a very good chance that that kid who gets his ears plucked on the school bus is going to be somebody who ends up in a position of power or some type of authority later in life. It's inevitable. It seems like it happens every time. Somehow, these people end up in these positions of power and authority. And, when they've had their ears plucked for all those years on the school bus, that's a recipe for disaster. And that's what we're dealing with here today, folks. Kids who I believe had their ears plucked on the school bus. What do I mean? Well, I'm going to give you a few examples of what I mean here today. So, if you haven't noticed, we are being led into this war with Iran by what I believe to be a lot of boomers who were once children on the school bus who had their ears plucked. That's what I think we're dealing with, honestly. And so it's these poor souls that are leading us into these wars. You have people like Lindsey Graham, for instance. And I started to put this all together because if you look closely, all of these guys have big ears. They do. They have big ears. And so I'm telling you, I would put money on that those ears were plucked on the school bus. I'm just saying. And then you have Ted Cruz. He's another one. Guaranteed his ears were plucked on the school bus. Marco Rubio. That guy, his ears are as long as my face. They were definitely plucked on the school bus. See if I can find a few other examples here. I had a couple of them pulled up for you just to make this point. Ben Shapiro, he's another voice that's leading the charge here towards this war. And although he has pretty big ears too, it looks like, I'm guessing that he was just ragged on about his eyebrows a lot, which would have the same effect, mind you. So just the moral of the story is, don't be a bully to these kids on the school bus, because there's a very good chance that someday they are going to be in a position of authority, and that authority will be abused. because of you plucking their ears on the school bus. So keep that in mind. This is serious. It never fails. You know, I've noticed it. Even growing up, I would think, how in the hell did this person end up in this position of authority telling me what to do? Like, how did this happen? How did this happen? Well, that's how it happened. Because then they had this burning desire to someday hold power, to be able to turn around to the one sitting behind him and flex that power, that authority. And that's what we're seeing in individuals such as these that I've listed here today. And there's many more. I could give example after example, but I don't want this video to be too long. So we're going to just keep it short and sweet here. I think I've made my point. But it never fails. These type of kids are the ones who end up in these positions. It never fails. And then we all get to pay for that. So, yeah, just a little message here today about plucking ears on the school bus. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know it's tempting. I know it's a pastime. But we have to be seeing the effects of this now in the world, the real world out there. I mean, look around. We're in wars and everything else because of these people that had their ears plucked on the school bus. So, don't do it. Restrain yourself. Find something else to do. Read a book. Something else. Just don't pluck that kid's ears sitting in front of you. That's the message today. As always, sorry about your toes if I stepped on them. This is Thumper. Subscribe. We're out.